Let's get the Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Brian Norcross right now. Brian, just watching on FNC, and now you're back with us. And I'll tell you, that 6 o'clock advisory, it still looks chaotic when you're looking at that satellite imagery.
Yeah, I think it's going to stay chaotic as long as it's in the vicinity of the Big Island there, Bob. And exactly how this is going to come out isn't clear because it's wobbling around. It's not moving very fast. That 6 o'clock update has northwest on averaged over a few hours movement, but it actually kind of jogged back to the west, but only 8 miles an hour. So it's this interaction with this mountain has slowed down this center movement. And is that going to somehow tear the system apart? It doesn't look like it at this moment. It actually looks reasonably healthy down here. Look, you can see the red kind of trying to wrap around the center again. But it is, as you say, very chaotic. 75 miles per hour is still the estimate from the Hurricane Center. 60 miles to the south-southeast of the south point of Hawaii. But this slowing down is going to take a longer time to either get by it or come over that south point, probably to move by it. Let's look at the visible satellite. So this is like a photograph from space of what you see if you were sitting up there looking down. And you can kind of make out the center, but the center is kind of cloud-filled right in there. But if you look at this here, this core right here, that's a very healthy looking storm. If that wrapped all the way around, we'd say, wow, this is an intensifying hurricane. But it's not wrapped all the way around. We've got this hole in it over here because of those mountains. We'll look at that more in a second. In fact, let's go ahead and look in on that. And if you look at this, first of all, I want to mention this core here because this is really strong. These have strong winds, very intense rain, and this is running in to Mauna Loa there, the lower peak there on the island of Hawaii, the 13,600 foot peak there. So that's really wringing out that moisture. So this combination of a hurricane and mountains is really bad. I think that this coast is really getting nailed now. That Lehu town down here where the Hawaii Belt Road goes around and dips down to the coast, I think that's going to be a very bad night right there. And very strong winds in there as well. When we look at the winds with radar, this really set me off earlier. We saw the winds aloft pick up at the ground before they went ahead and designated a hurricane. This is one of the reasons they did. I just checked it out. 70 to 80 mile an hour winds here at about 3,000 feet off the deck. Because now as the system is moving closer to the radar, we see things lower in the atmosphere because the Earth curves away, so we can see kind of closer to the ground. So this is telling you that there are very strong winds here in the blue. But look up to the north up here. You see this blue coming over the coast. That's what I was saying. I think the coast right in here is really getting nailed right now with strong winds and extreme rainfall. And then look at this line here. And that's where the mountains, that's where the radar can't see through the rocks of the mountain. There's another radar over on this side that sees this side of the mountain. We could look at what's going on over there. In a second, we'll look at the composite of all of it. But that's why we don't see over that way. So what's happening is this band of strong winds coming in here, driving the rain against those mountains, and then that rain falls, extraordinarily heavy rain. We've seen other places in the mountains up to about 16 inches of rain so far. And this thing still is crawling by. So there's more to go here. All right, here's the wind right now. You see it down there in South Point Park. That is north of the point. So that's up the hill about 500, 550 feet from the actual southernmost point. But gusting to 61 there. So you see all these elevated things are gusting significantly. But in the middle of the island where the wind is coming in like this, it's lower, like at Hilo here, but where it then gets diverted and squeezed around the two sides, it's stronger. So it's always the case. It's the edges that get the most of the wind. By the way, that's true in a high-rise building too. If you want to buy an apartment that has less hurricane exposure, don't buy the ends of the apartment, buy the middle of the apartment. Same story here with the mountains on these Hawaiian Islands. Same story on Maui. Here comes the wind here, it gets diverted this way and this way, so we have the stronger gusts on the north and south coast there. All right, then over in Honolulu, the gusts are picking back up in the 30s again. So this is obviously slowly going to migrate that way. Still more than 200 miles, 250 miles or so away from Honolulu. So the expanse of this is pretty high. Okay, here's the radar, and look at that band. That's the band I was talking about right there, slamming into the mountain, and you can see the reds in there. That tells you that the cells are being lofted high and be very intense right there. And notice they sit right there. Once that band is hitting that mountain over and over again, that cell is not going anywhere. The mountain is going to block it. So that's where we get these extraordinary rain amounts with Hawaii. Now, what is going on with the eye here? You see the eye is kind of looks like it's moving that way. Is it shrinking a little bit? Is it trying to wrap up? It's really hard to tell, but there is some indication that it is surviving. The big question was, is this eye going to survive its encounter with the mountain? Still not 100% because it's moving slowly, but it does look like that right now. And then we'll see. We'll see what happens on the other side, because right now you see the incredible rain. Now, look over here, and here you see this low pressure over in here. And you see that the question is this going to kind of give up and a new center form over here, or is this one going to make it past without getting totally disrupted? I'm going to be really interested to see at the National Hurricane Center. I know they have been debating this. Some of the computer models indicate that this one is going to kind of die out and then a new one form over here. And other models that have lower resolution kind of indicate that this one is going to go this way and just continue on. I don't know. So far, it looks like it's continuing on, but it's got to clear these mountains, and this creeping along and slowing down is related to the interaction with those mountains there. All right, so here's the timing. The tropical storm force winds are here, but remember, this is at the surface, so these have stronger winds up on the mountains. So you can get gusts up to hurricane strength, conceivably, up on the mountains, even in that yellow area. This is the hurricane force gusts down at the ocean level, essentially. And here we are essentially now. Now, it's only supposed to be about an hour until it gets its closest approach. I think it's going slower, so it's probably going to take a little longer until we get the closest approach or crossing over the south point of the Big Island. We'll see. But there you can see hurricane force gusts at the ocean level. That means we're probably going to see some hurricane force winds against those mountains, through those gaps in the mountains, and then going over and down the other side in this area, southern half of the Big Island especially, although we certainly have seen strong gusts on the north side too. And then the question is, what happens over here? Hurricane Center thinking is it's a weaker storm because of the interaction with the mountains. Possibly the center reforms. We'll see. It's a very complicated thing. We're dealing with a little bit of distance there on whether that center can sneak by or not. And here you see tropical storm force winds over Maui. And again, the Maui and Molokai, again, on the higher elevations, stronger winds there, up maybe 60 miles an hour or a little higher. And then we get to Sunday overnight into Sunday morning, and that's where it goes by Oahu, and then finally moving on out late on Sunday Hawaii time. That's overnight Monday morning East Coast time. So that's the timing on it. As all this happens, just like we see on the Big Island here, look where the heaviest rain is, where you see the dark reds and purples there on that windward side. Because this is staying south, all the islands are being hit by the tropical storm force winds on the windward side here. There you see. On every one has these reds on that side. If we're going to get flooding, that's where it's going to be, and then all that water has to run downhill. And by the way, at the same time that's happening, where's the wind going? The wind is pushing the surf and the waves this way. So when you have a kind of a river or a culvert or a valley that comes down to the ocean, it's being held back because the wind is pushing the ocean water in there. So that's when you get the coastal flooding. So that, that's sort of a compound issue between those two forces that are involved when you have the mountains and the drainage going the opposite direction from the wind, which will tend to hold it back. So hopefully right along the coast, we don't have people right along the coast. This is probably the problem with that coastal road there on the near the southern tip, is that dips down right by the coast there, and no doubt problems that are related to all that. So Bob and Haley, it's a complicated thing, and we'll just see how long it takes to clear the Big Island and what survives, or how the structure of that storm is functioning once that happens.
Back in the day, Brian, I know you're a little crazy. Would you be surfing in this stuff right now, or would you wait for a day?
No, not me. No. I was never a big wave guy. One time, Hurricane Betsy, I was in big waves.
Right.
But I was never a big wave guy. I was a Florida surfer, you know.
Understood.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Norcross, thank you so much. Our hurricane specialist out there, he's doing it all for us. I appreciate it, Brian. We'll get back to you again in just a little bit.